Hello YouTube, this is MTShark7 here. This is another edition of Game Pickups. And yeah, I'm going on travel next week, so there'll be another game hunting episode in the future. And so yeah, I decided to show what I got so far, and so I can clear out, update my Google Drive, and get everything clear before I go on travel. So I think last video is kind of a continuation from the last game pickups video. I think I mentioned that the Atari 5200 lot I got, some of the games didn't work because the only thing I did was just clean it with alcohol. But I had I think 6 games. The system was broken, the power supply was broke, and the controllers were broke. But I threw them out because those controllers were god awful. I know I mentioned in the video, I asked if anyone wanted it, I would send it out, just they had to pay for shipping. So I know Chad Bailey mentioned that Phil would be interested in it, because he does sort of what I do, kind of restores video game systems. Oh, excuse me. So I messaged him, and I told him what I have. I sent him pictures and everything. And apparently he didn't want it because the shipping was out of his, out of his price range. So he was like, you know what? He's like, you're better off just having it, and maybe you can fix it whenever down the road if you get bored or whatever. I was like, all right, fine, I'll hold on to it. But yeah, the controllers I threw out. I mean, I know, I think Game Rescue mentioned that I can donate. I can send them to. I know I didn't mention where, but I know you can send them to Best Electronics, and they can refurbish them for you and sell them back to you for a pretty cheap price. But those controllers, they were long gone. The cord was all gross. It was white for one thing. The little rubber thing that holds the joystick, that was ripped to shreds. Buttons were missing, and on both of them, and it was just dead. And I mentioned on there that I still have my original, when I got my 5200, that the controllers were broken. So I think I still have them. So and eventually whenever I get around to it, I'll send them out instead, because they're in mint condition. They just don't work. So he wasn't interested, which is fine. So I kind of did the inverse. So I told him, I was like, well, if I fix it, would you be interested in doing it for trade? And he's like, yeah, sure. So I ended up cleaning the games, and I kind of feel bad because he asked if I had Megamainia, which I did, which I told him, which wasn't a lie at the time. It was one of the broken games, and he didn't. That's all he said. I was like, well, I had it, but it's broken, and that's where the conversation ended. But I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it too much, because I ended up fixing 5 out of the 6 games. Wait, 1, 2, 7? What the heck? Oh, never mind. There is 6 out of 7. I thought it was 5. I don't know where I got 5 from. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I ended up fixing it, and the game works. And I want it in my collection because I don't have the game. And I think I'm gonna start, since I'm on got forced to be on a 5200 kit. I've been trying to look for games for that system, and I was looking online. There's only 69 games for the whole console, so I'm gonna try to go for a complete set for the system. But I mean, I figure I'd keep it. I mean, he never mentioned if he wanted it or not, but I think I'm gonna keep it because I played the game and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a Galaga, a space shooter type game, which is pretty cool. I mean, when I plan on hooking up the 5200 in the near future, so I'll probably do a Let's Play on that. But I am going to look out for him, because I don't think it really matters, because I asked him if he had a 5200, and obviously he doesn't. So, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I mean, if he wanted it or not. I think really think I'm overthinking it, but at least I'll be on the lookout for another copy, because I looked on eBay, they don't even have anything, which is kind of strange, because I looked on price charting, the game's like, it's only a $7 game, it's pretty cheap. So, I'm going to be on the lookout for another copy for him, because I kind of feel bad. I don't know, but yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that. And I mean, I travel, so I'm not really stuck in New Jersey to look for games, so maybe when I go down Virginia next week, I think the one store has 5200 stuff, so I'll check in there, and I don't know, if anyone else has like a Megamainia, I guess let me know in the comments or whatever. I'll make a trade for other common shit titles, I don't know. But anyway, I'm rambling on, and Jesus Christ, this is probably like a 50-minute video already. Anyway, so yeah, long story short, continuation. I took the broken games and cleaned them, and with Brasso and alcohol and contact cleaner, and now they all work, except for one. Buck Rogers. It's kind of like a Space Harrier type game, which it's by Sega, and I never even heard of it. But I pop it in, and the game works, but the guy only goes left. And I know there's nothing wrong with the controller, because my controller is like that top-of-the-line gold-plated one from Best Electronics. That thing will never break. That's like a lifetime controller right there. I have two of them. The one's like brand new. I haven't even opened it yet. But yeah, so these are the games that were broken and now work and are now part of the collection. And some of the labels are kind of damaged, which I don't really care. If I find a better label, I'll replace it. I'm not really picky on it. So first up is Super Cobra for the 5200. Then we got Hubert for 5200. What else? And Popeye for the 5200. Then we got the CBS game, Wizard of War. Which these CBS games are freaking weird. Because I think it was Wizard of War. I was playing, and of course, I have the controller in port 1, obviously. And the guy's like, it's not moving correctly. I'm like, what the hell happened to the joystick? Like, I know there's nothing wrong. Like, I was playing Megamainia, and I could go left and right, up and down, and whatever. And this guy was, like, stuck going left. So I popped him in. I was like, let me see something. So I popped it in the controller port 2. It works. I was like, so this is kind of weird. So for these weird CBS games, you have to pop it in controller port 2, which is weird because I was looking up on Atari Age in the 5200 forum. I was just basically just looking for stuff like troubleshooting how to get the console to work. And lo and behold, someone posted exactly the same issue that I had. They're like, oh, this Wizard of War game doesn't work. And I think the same goes for Blueprint. It works, but yeah, I haven't figured out about the second controller port when testing this game. But it works, so I'm assuming it's the CBS, it's the same deal with being in controller port 2. Weird thing. And here is Megamainia, which I don't know why this game is impossible to find for being a $6 game on price charting. I honestly think that guy who ever controls that thing is like either high as fuck or is drunk as fuck. Because I think Chad Bailey posted the thing about I forget what daily debate it was, but I think it was the one where if you were to sell off your collection, like how much would you price everything? And he posted the one screenshot of the price charting was a Saturn baseball game, and loose was like $60 around, and complete in box was around the same, like 50, 60. But brand new, it was like $6. It's like, what? $6 for brand new, but for disc only, it's 60, 70? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, people don't think, like, wait, this is wrong. Something doesn't sound right. So, I don't know. Price, I looked at some of those things. They're the same exact way. So, I'm just gonna take the price charting app like with a grain of salt. Usually, if I like price chart a game, usually I go. I know people frown upon eBay, but what I usually do is I say if I like say Megamainia for example, like I'll go on there, I'll put 5200 Megamainia, and I'll put as sold listings, so you know what they actually sold for, and I'll get a round figure, and I'll just get like the mean value of it. I'll use like I use like my statistics skills from college, which I friggin' sucked at, and get the mean, mode, and the whatever median, and figure it out that way. But what else? So I stopped at I always stop in Next Level, my friend next door, and I got some more everyone's favorite Game Boy games. So we got Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly. There's that one. We got Play Action Football, which I'm surprised I don't have this in my collection. And all these are generously given to me by this TM guy. I don't know who that is. All the gray cards are by him. All-Star Challenge 2 and NBA All-Star Challenge 2. Same guy. And we have Paperboy. And last up, we have Driver, You Are the Wheelman. For the Game Boy Color. So there's those games. And also he had more. Ended up getting more cases, which I kind of I think I skipped over. I think the last time I showed Castlevania 1 and 2, but I never got the third one. So now I finally have the third one to complete the trilogy. And then I have Contra, because I think I have Super C complete in box. Or no, not even complete in box. I just have it boxed. I need the manual. And then we have Space Harrier for 32X, because I have this game, the game and the manual. So, it's complete in box. And then, so yeah, my daughter's been sick this week, so I ended up, I stopped at Radio Shack because I was getting some, looking for, like, they're going out of business, so I was seeing if there's any, like, electronic components I could get for cheap. And, I just browsed, and I got a couple things, but I wanted to go to, GameStop, so on the way back, I was like, well, I have to go to the bathroom. So I went in the Kmart on the way back to my car. And then I was like, you know what, let me check out the electronics section of Kmart. Because last time I was there, when I was looking at they were clearancing out, like the Kmart, they were clearancing out their like PSP games. They were selling them for like $5, brand new. Excuse me. So, I looked, and lo and behold, there was actually some PSP games for like $4. So this is what I got brand new from Kmart. Oh, I guess I might as well do it in order. We got Loco Roco for the PSP, and then I can't have the first one without Loco Roco 2, which I noticed how it says favorites. Is that kind of like a sort of like greatest hits type thing that Sony did? I don't know. That's definitely. I don't think that's the original case. And then I got Mag, which sadly isn't available anymore because they shut down the servers. And sadly, this was the most expensive one out of 3, even though it wasn't that much. But it's in my collection. It's funny enough. This besides the which I still haven't opened, the import PS3 game, I have 2 like brand new sealed PS3 games, and they're both the one I have is the God of War collection, and it's in the transition. It's like a transition box. Before they go to greatest hits, they would have a sticker over top of the seal, because you can tell, like, obviously it's not red, so it's not the actual greatest hits. It's an in between greatest hits before they transfer over. So yeah, so that's kind of odd that both my completed box games are exactly like this, and the God of War thing that just has a sticker that says greatest hits. And so yeah, this past weekend, my girlfriend and I, and obviously our daughter, we went thrifting at the Glassboro Thrift Village. Down, it's like I think 25 minutes away. And we haven't been there in a while, so and my girlfriend had to donate some clothes, so I was like, well, why don't we donate the clothes, and why don't I check it out? I haven't been there in a while, so we go in and their video game stuff is gone. I'm like, because usually when you walk in, it's like right there to the left, and you can rummage through whatever games they have. So I'm like, what the heck is going on here? There's like no games. So I like walk around. They like changed up the entire store. So here there's like, it's all the way far back, they have the games like behind a counter, so you can't really like mess with them. And I think what happened is, well, when I was talking to Nick, he was saying that the Play and Trade down the street, like they went out of business, and then he's thinking that they might have took all their stock that they had left over. Excuse me. Oh my God, I keep burping today. Jesus. Didn't even have any soda. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, so he's thinking that that's why, because now they're doing their whole like eBay thing online, and so yeah, so if you want to like look for a game, you have to have an associate be like, hey, let me see all those Nintendo games or PlayStation games or whatever. So I'm like going through the games and all. So these are the games I picked up, and I asked them, I was like, can I look at the disc? And here they end up like resurfacing all the discs, which I guess is a good thing that they kind of went the whole eBay route and more, it's kind of like more organized, because they don't have any like shit titles. Like it's all like good stuff for a pretty decent price. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like that whole thing I think I mentioned in my one shit chat, how some places like kind of like get you, how they overprice their items, but then they have, oh, buy two get one free, so then it kind of levels out in the end when you pay for it, because they were kind of a little overpriced, but everything you buy in the store is 30% off. So I even did the math, and it ended up being $2 less than whatever price charting was, which it's alright, I guess. So these are the 3 games I picked up. I got Forsaken for the PlayStation. This was like a $6 game. Now I finally got Tekken 2. So now I just need the original Tekken, and I think I have all of them. And then last up I picked up Nuclear Strike. Here's the back. Yeah, so all their games are like brand new, mint condition. Like even like the manuals, they're all not like some. I think some of this one case has like a crack on it, but they're definitely not like your usual thrift store finds. At least I never seen any of those games at a thrift store. So I think my friend Nick was right about them getting their old stuff, because I was like, wow, where do they get all these games from? And I didn't want to buy a whole lot. That's why I was like kind of like, I was leery about buying them, because I was like, oh, I really don't want to get screwed over and like buying these games like way overpriced. I kind of want to like buy anything at the spur of the moment and just waste all my money. So I was like, let me buy a little bit of games now. And what I did, I added them. I saw their eBay thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on eBay before I go there, like kind of get a list going of what I want. So that way when I get there, I'm like, oh, hey, I saw you have such and such on eBay. And then you can get it, and I can get 30% off and free shipping. So, yeah, that's all the pickups until next time, I guess. I do have another thing coming in the mail from eBay, which hasn't gotten here yet. Fucking eBay. So yeah, that is it. My pickups and my little rants, and yep. Anyway, that's it. I guess have a good night, and this Empty Shark 7 signing out. Sorry if the video's too long.